What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Nick Williams Show. It is the Monday before the election, and things are definitely heating up. Joining me, as always, I couldn't do this show without him. I could, because I've done it multiple times without him. But nowadays, I say things like I couldn't do it without him because I sit over here and he's got access to all the stuff. Max, my
How's it going?
producer, thanks
Happy to
for
be here.
thanks for being here early Monday
Of
morning.
course.
Dude, there's like so much shit going on with the with the election and all the bullshit,
Like
you know?
what? Fill me in.
Well, people are just like pissed. All the Republicans think that they're cheating on everything already.
Mm-hmm.
There's tons of stuff going on. I will say that Trump won a uh, election interference thing with a judge recently,
Mm-hmm.
where they were saying like that voters had to go home, and the judge was the court was like, yeah, no, everybody gets a chance to vote, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah. I didn't.
Kamala's the rhetoric and everything else is pretty intense, and like I don't want to talk about like the garbage truck thing because like that happened last week and it's such like old news.
Fucking insane, though.
Why did you think it was insane?
It's like at this point, it's just like I feel like everything he does, it's like it in an alternate universe. It's like an SNL skit. You know what I mean?
Well, speaking of
I
SNL,
know. Yeah,
so
she was on.
it's a violation
Yeah,
though.
they had like if Trump asks, they have to give him like a minute and a half of free time on air or something like that.
Well, it's not even just that. There's not enough time. You can't make them do the SNL show before the election.
Oh shit!
This is the kind of shit that gets Republicans panties in a twist, panties in a bunch. You know what I mean? It really gets them going. Like, I don't know why they do this stuff. Well, I know why. It's because they don't give a fuck and they want to win the presidency. But like,
Yeah.
it's just it's unbelievable. Why do you think it is that like everything is so all over the place?
Well, it's like I feel like with the last election, it really just opened the doors. Like, even if there was election interference, voter fraud, which I'm sure in every election there is
Some level of
some level of it,
right.
but I feel like it's just been elevated to a point where it's like people think there are going to be like millions of fake votes,
Mm.
and it's like I just don't think that's what's happening. I feel like a lot of people.
Do you not think that? No, so I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm asking your opinion. Do
Mhm.
you think that's not happening because you personally have more faith in?
Yeah, I have faith in our election system 100%.
Okay, so you don't want it to be true. Like even if it came out, you're saying I don't think that's happening because you don't want it to be true. Like you haven't like researched it and have all this evidence against it, and so you're like, okay, you're just saying like, hey, we got to have faith in the elections. Is that
Yeah.
right or no?
Yeah, I would say for the most part. It's like I know people do commit mail fraud. I know dead people vote, but I feel
Well, so
like
think about it.
that didn't just start.
Okay.
You know what I mean? That's been going on for probably a very long
Oh, I
time.
totally agree with
But
you.
I also don't think it's at a level where it's like changing the outcome of the election.
Okay, let me ask you this: do you think if there was a way
Mm-hmm.
for either party in power? I'm not saying
Mm-hmm.
Trump's so good or that Kamala's so bad. I'm just asking, like, either party in power at a level of like Washington D.C.
Mm-hmm.
with all of those three-letter agencies, CIA, FBI, all that bullshit. Do you
Mm-hmm.
think that if they really wanted to, that there would be a way for them to cheat and win?
I 100% think the CIA could probably pull something
Okay,
like
so
that
let me
off.
ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not a conspiracy. These are questions.
Yeah.
Because I have it's actually to my detriment because as an artist, it's very difficult for me to have this. I have this dichotomy of mindset, right? So I have
Mm-hmm.
the way I live my life, the way I do business, the way I do all that is very logic based. It's
Mm-hmm.
not like feelings based. But I'm an artist,
Yeah.
so when I'm making movies, when I'm painting, when I'm doing anything else that's like artsy fartsy, everything has to do with feeling. And it doesn't matter how like, you know what I mean? Like it has to do with how does it make you feel in the moment and all that kind of shit. So it's
Mm-hmm.
very difficult. But I will say that logically, if you ran the CIA or you
Mm-hmm.
ran the FBI or you ran the NIH or you ran any of these like three-letter agencies, right?
Yeah.
Homeland Security, whatever. And you have one person who's in power who says the other person is a threat to democracy and we need to do all this stuff, blah 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 blah. And they're by the way, they're the people that hired you. So the people
Mm-hmm.
in power are currently the people that hired you as well. And the other guy is out there saying actively, no question, I'm firing every single person that I can fire. Anyone
Mhm.
under my direct control is absolutely gonna be fired, gone. I don't wanna talk about it. It's not gonna be a big discussion. 5 minutes in and out. 10,000 people are about to get laid the fuck off from the government from fucking us over. That's the message, at least. I'm not advocating for it. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Do you think that they might have an incentive to try and stop that from happening?
Yeah, but I
Logically,
could yeah, 100%,
right?
100%. It that makes
Now, on an
sense.
emotional level, like, obviously, I think America's the greatest country in the fucking world. It is, as it
It's the shit,
it's the shit.
but we got our
Okay, okay,
problems.
I'm not saying I get that, but I'm saying I think America's the greatest country in the
Yeah.
world. So, like, on an emotional level, I would like it if there wasn't mass corruption and mass bullshit everywhere. I
Uh-huh.
would like it if there weren't mass shootings everywhere. Like, I would like
Uh-huh.
that. But on a logical level, everyone's fucking corrupt. Everyone's
Yeah.
corrupt. And when you're at the height of power and you have this political machine churning through people, again, okay. So you know how in the UK they have the royal family?
Yeah.
And you and I have talked about this a lot, so I'm sorry if it's like a
No, it's
repetitive
okay.
type thing, but like the royal family, like you cannot just be member of the royal family,
Yeah, you gotta be born
right?
into it
Okay.
or married.
And we
What do you
kind of had that like a similar thing in the US with like the way that the public viewed the Kennedys
Mhm.
and viewed the Obamas and viewed the
Mhm.
Bushes, if you want to go on the other side, the Clintons,
Mhm.
um, like this upper echelon of people that like you'd have to
Oh,
avert
there
your
yeah.
eyes if you see them in public, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's not America. Like that is not America at all. That is such on both sides. That is political propaganda, establishment bullshit that has never been what the founding fathers or anybody actually wanted it to be.
Uh-huh.
If you ask somebody, "Hey, do you want to be president?" and the answer is yes from any person, that is the person who should not be president of the
Yeah,
United
it
States,
should be like jury duty,
right? It should be
100%.
like the draft.
You get a letter in the mail and you're like, "Oh shit,
Fuck
I'm the
me, I'm the
president."
president tomorrow, but I have my fucking
Fuck.
sister's birthday's
That'd be that like that I feel like that would be if I can get a letter in the mail
Mhm.
and I have to go to court and I can sentence someone for a crime, which could send them to jail
You
for
mean
the
like
rest
jury
of their
duty?
life.
Okay.
Yeah. Then I should also it should also work for president.
Right. Well, that's the thing. The Constitution is very clear. It's a government of the people, for the people, by the people.
Yeah.
It's supposed to feel like we are running the country.
Yeah.
And like obviously you can't have 400 million presidents, right? You got to have one.
Yeah.
But this whole idea of this upper echelon where people get paid $100,000 a year or 80 to $100,000 a year depending on the position, Senate, Congress, whatever it is, but they leave after a term. If they leave, if they don't just stay in there till they die, if they leave after a 4-year term with like fucking 28-30 million dollars, you don't
Yeah,
tell me there's
like
you're not gonna tell me there's corruption
Nancy
somewhere in there.
Nancy Pelosi is the greatest insider trader of all time.
Right, right. This is my point. Now, again, and listen, it's not like it's not happening on the Republican side,
Yeah.
you know.
Well,
But
that
but like,
I feel like they I feel like a lot of things that everybody talks about for the most part, it's like
yeah,
we talk about things without actually talking about like getting to the root problem. You know what
mm,
I mean? Or it's like everyone's corrupt, they do this. It's like why don't we just take money out of politics? Nobody wants to do that because everyone who's winning off of it and receiving money and uh
yeah, you can't. I
but
totally agree. I totally agree. You should take money out of politics in general.
But that's the other thing. It's like people are like, "Well, the economy." It's like, just bear with me for a second. But a lot of people are like, "The economy does what it wants," or
Does what it wants. What the fuck does that mean?
That's not what I mean. But like the econ, people talk about the economy like it's some great giant force
Mm,
that humans did not create to their own benefit. You know what I mean? Like we created. It's the economy's fake.
okay.
We made it up.
Okay.
That means we can bend the rules on the economy.
Meaning what though? Where are you going with that?
Like,
What do you mean the economy's fake? The economy is very real.
it no, but I mean, like, it's a concept, like, that we made up.
So are laws.
Yes,
So are rights.
and we
So
can
are everything.
change laws,
Yeah.
and I feel like a lot of people talk about the economy like there are things about it that we can't change. Like for instance, the national debt, right?
Yes.
It would never happen, but we could hypothetically just erase all the debt. Start new.
You could, but you'd fuck the entire world over because everything is based okay. So you're not wrong. It is all made up, but at least everybody's kind of
It's tied in
it's all
reality.
playing by the rules,
Yes.
right? So if we just wiped out our debt, I mean, markets would just fucking go, meh, like they would just fucking tweak for like
For like, but
a while.
but
Like it would be not good,
but we would figure it out.
right? Well, because you judge the value of things based on the
Yeah,
value of other things.
well, that's the other thing. It's like I don't like the GDP. I don't feel like the GDP is a good way to figure out how a country's doing.
Well, how would you figure out a way a country's doing? How would you measure a country's wealth without gross domestic profit?
I forget. It was either Yang or RFK. I can't
There we
remember.
fucking go.
But they were like, you should base. I mean, gross domestic product. It is important.
Yeah.
But like how it does that doesn't measure how your citizens are like doing
You mean mentally?
mentally, physically.
Yeah, they don't care about that. The economy has to do with money only. It has to do
I
with
know.
how rich or how poor are your people. It has nothing to do with how healthy are your people. It has nothing to do. And this is the problem: is that we have. It's difficult, man.
Yes.
It's a difficult. That's the reality. Like this is a real conversation. This is a real political conversation. Whereas normally people just get into like abortion, and you're like, okay, but
Exactly. That's the thing.
What
It's like
about-
those.
what-
It's just
right.
culture war shit that people want to get into. It's like
right.
we could get into root problems and figure that out, and
Well, I
that would
think
trickle
so.
downstream.
So I will say, out of the two candidates, because I've listened to them both. I've listened to the same exact Kamala speech she's been giving for 3 months, and it's always the same.
Well, you see, she was doing 2 different campaign ads.
What do you mean?
She was running a like pro-Palestinian campaign ad in, I think, Michigan.
Can you pull it? Can we see if we can find it
Yeah.
while you're talking?
Yeah. So this is a video talking about how apparently Kamala was running 2 different campaign ads in the country, like one in like 2 different states, but 2 different ads pretty much.
Wilson is live for us in DC. Paul Murray is still in Texas. He's a man after my own heart there in Texas. Paul, we'll get to you just in a moment. But Annalise Nielsen, back in DC, I think it's the first time in a while that you've been there, Annalise. What's happening today?
Well, look, we're just keeping an eye on the race as we race to the finish line.
I love the delay. The delay is so funny. So you got an Australian news team, okay, in 3 different states in the U.S. broadcasting to Australia, right? So you have this guy who's like a man after my own heart, and we got beautiful Sheila. Boy, she's a beauty, isn't she? We got her.
Hasn't been in DC in a while.
Hasn't been in DC. She hasn't seen a day in forever.
Ain't no dingo in DC.
Right, no dingoes there. Oi, Sheila. Yeah? How's it going over in DC?
Like what? Here's the thing. Like,
I'm sorry, sir. Are you from England or
well,
where
like,
the fuck are you from?
I catch myself watching Sky News like a little too often for living in the United States.
Oh, dude.
But it's also like what? Like, I get it. America.
It must be so
presidential
funny.
election, big deal. Like, but like, fuck off.
Bro. It must be so funny to live in Australia and watch Americans and be like, "This is the greatest fucking movie."
Skits cunts, bro.
Yeah. Dude, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life. So ready? So all 3 of these, we have our camera inputs here, right?
Yep.
All 3 of these cameras and audio are being shot over individually to Australia, and then the audio is bounced back into their individual ears. That the delay is great. Just stand there like this, you're going. He's like, so what? Hey, oi, Sheila, just shave your legs this morning, and she's standing like that. Right, Jim. Yeah, I definitely shaved my legs this morning. Yeah. The fuck with the pause? What are you doing? What do we do with the pause? We can't get. What are we doing?
Is the absolute pointy end of the campaign, and we can see neither side is slowing down. It shows just how tight it is when they know they can't take a single vote for granted. Kamala Harris, she did seem to take the morning off.
The
after
fucking
appearing...
the little sheet behind her that looks like Washington D.C. drops down. There's some guy like cutting up a dingo for lunch behind her.
She's in the Outback.
Right.
She's in front of an Outback steakhouse in DC.
That's where they live, right? That's where the Australians live.
SNL Live late last night. But what we did see was her attending church. It was there she said that
The
they
24-hour
needed
news
strength
clock.
to get through the next week as a country, not just as a candidate.
2 days until we decide the fate of our nation. We were born for such a time as this. The road ahead won't be easy.
And Pete, one interesting thing that's come up, looking at how Kamala Harris is campaigning in those key battleground states. This was first reported by CNN, the different ads that are being targeted to different states over Israel and Gaza. In particular, they've said that she's tailored a very specific message to Michigan, where there is the largest population of Arabs living in America, and there's a very different message targeting towards Pennsylvania. And I guess they're just hoping that people don't make the comparison between the two when they're deciding if they're voting along these lines.
Oh, we did, didn't we?
Well, no, the thing that blew me away was it was CNN that broke the story. I was like,
Well, they have to cover their ass in case Trump wins.
yeah.
If Trump wins, he's gonna, dude, he's got a $10 billion lawsuit against CBS right now, which is actually a fair lawsuit in my opinion. It's pretty fucking, you know, you
What
can't.
for?
What?
What for?
Election interference. Because of the answer switch that they did.
On 60 Minutes?
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, we can get into that after, and I'll explain why. Just play it. Really, does it not feel like she? Hold on. I'll fucking play it while I'm in the middle of a
I
sentence.
thought you just said play it.
Crazy bastard. Does it not feel like she has to take a shit though?
Who, Kamala or
No, the fucking the chick this report. She goes, and the last thing, that they did was
the American food's getting to
right.
it.
Well, I haven't been in DC in forever, have I? And the reason that
The Popeyes got me feeling like shit, mate.
well, I hit Macca's and
McDonald's.
folded it up with a BK.
Oh my god, I have a story after this. I got to tell you a story about BK.
Definitely play this though.
The two when they're deciding if they're voting along these lines.
What has happened in Gaza over the past 9 months is devastating. We cannot allow ourselves to become numb to the suffering, and I will not be silent. Let me be clear. I will always stand up for Israel's right to defend itself, and I will always ensure Israel has the ability to defend itself, because the people of Israel must never again face the horror that a terrorist organization called Hamas caused on October 7.
So I will say, and I don't know if you know this or not, they just sent two B-52 Stratoforce bomber planes or whatever to Israel for de-escalation purposes.
Like, oh my god,
She's plunging us. She's getting ready to plunge us into World War III.
that shit. No, it's just like
She is,
I
dude.
get the Israel thing. I get it.
What do you get about it? Because nobody else fucking gets it.
I get that they need a safe place. They need to be safe. I get that.
Both sides do.
But I'm tired of paying for it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I think, like, here's my thing.
God, you're starting to sound like me.
No, everyone says they're like the greatest military force in the region. Okay, they're good.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I get, all right, like, I get we have to keep them safe, but like,
Yeah, but there are
Can we-
allies. This is where it gets weird. So like there are allies, and if we don't help them, then
but
they won't help us.
Yeah, well,
That's what it is. No,
sounds like
that-
extortion. First of all,
Wait, are you dumb, dude?
no, I'm just saying.
Welcome to like adulthood, dude. We can't extort people on our level because the government is too busy extorting us.
yeah,
The country was started by a bunch of fucking 18 to 25-year-old thugs.
I don't know. I feel like with Israel, it's like, I don't know. I'm not. October 7th, bad day, very bad day.
No, it was
But-
really fucked up.
but
Dude.
like-
It's their 9/11.
But I don't know how they got blindsided. I don't know. Here's my thing. You're like one of the most secure nations in the world with crazy border walls, crazy cameras.
Mm,
You have the fucking Mossad, which is viewed as better than our CIA in a lot of cases.
mm.
And dudes with paragliders flew over and blindsided you. I don't buy that. I don't. I really don't. I think it's terrible. I don't think it should have happened. But that's my point. How the fuck did they pull that off on the state of Israel?
I don't know. I'm not
That's
Israeli. I don't
no,
know.
but that's my thing. And it's like the other thing, like it took them like I think an hour and a half for the military to get there, but they were only 50 miles away. Pretty sure a helicopter can get cross 50 miles way quicker than an hour and a half. You know, and it's just like that's my thing. It's like I just don't buy it.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't really. I mean, I don't want to say I don't care, but
Like everyone thinks 9/11 or not everyone. A lot of people think 9/11 was like a false flag to get us into war. I kind of think the same thing about October 7th.
but what's the false flag? 1,200 people died.
How many 3,000 people died in 9/11?
Right, but again, I don't. I don't think that 9/11 was a false flag. I think that 9/11 was the
Well-
exploitation of the stupidity of the three-letter agencies. And what we should have done is said, this is a bunch of bullshit. Let's eliminate the three-letter agencies and combine everything into, like, you know, you either take the CIA and make it part of the FBI. Like, we have too many three-letter agencies, and the biggest problem with 9/11 was that none of them communicated with each other because they wanted to win. Listen.
Yeah.
We pitted them against each other
Yeah, they didn't
instead
talk.
of incentivizing a way for them to communicate with each other.
Yeah.
We said, oh, the CIA is doing really good. FBI is doing really good.
Who's
Who's going to
better?
do better?
Yeah.
And it pitted them against each other because the CIA was taking CNN, or maybe it was the FBI, I'm not sure. Excuse me. One of them was taking CNN reporters like 3 weeks before 9/11, and they were interviewing Osama bin Laden in his cave at the time. Like, this was like like they knew where he was. He was interviewed being like, yeah, you're about to get a taste of what we're all about here. And nobody did anything because the agency that approved for that to happen didn't communicate with the other agency that could have stopped him, stopped all the people at the airports. Like, it was like a thing. Also, I will say that there was, so the reason we have laws is because someone did something bad. And so we had to make a law so that
rule.
if that person does, or if a person does that thing again,
We have consequences.
there are consequences. So, like, there was everybody smoked in the 90s. There was no reason you couldn't bring a lighter on an airplane.
Yeah.
There was no reason you couldn't bring a little box cutter or something if you work. Like, let's say you're a construction worker or what. I don't know. A lot of people carry like a multi-tool or something
People
like
used
that
to
on a
walk
plane.
you to the gate.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like that, like in all those old TV shows and movies or whatever, they used to like their loved one would walk you to the gate and give you a big hug. I actually, when I was 13, it's one of the best Christmas gifts my parents ever gave me. I flew out to visit my family alone at 13 years old. And my aunt and uncle were waiting for me at the gate of the airplane when I got off. And like, I don't even know, they just walked.
Yeah.
And this is post 9/11, but like still, like they, you can't do that crap anymore.
Without going through security and shit.
It's a whole fucking thing.
But also, it's like, I don't know. I feel like no matter how close we are with Israel, we should remain
neutral.
Suspicious of them.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Because it's like
I think,
like,
but
just the
dude,
fact,
but
just
like
the
we
fact
should be suspicious of everybody. Like,
yeah,
it's
but
not
also
just
it's
Israel.
like we don't have other countries have like lobbies that actively influence our laws, like the way Israel does.
Right.
It's like if you all right.
Yeah, but like
look,
okay, so
if,
like,
if
but that's
the
like
eye-
so
if
that's
the,
just too deep
if
for me.
if the eye and
Hold on, because I get where you're going with this. Let's try and keep it to the election because I appreciate where you're going with this. On the matter of Israel v. Palestine, like I'm so far removed from it. I don't like that Hamas attacked Israel on October 7th. These people have been fucking fighting for like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years.
But like, all right, India and Pakistan, right?
Yeah, again, don't care.
No, but they
thousands of years.
I know, but
fighting.
they made it where like they're like, all right, no more guns in this area.
Yeah,
if we're gonna fight,
dude.
sticks.
India's ready to drop a nuke on Pakistan. like you know what I mean? Like, and then it's never like they're always gonna be fighting. There's fighting here. You know what I mean? Like there's always fighting. I think, and I've always felt like we need to, like, that's fine. You can have an opinion on Israel v. Palestine. You can have an opinion on Pakistan versus India. You can have an opinion on North Korea joining forces with Putin and attacking Ukraine. North Korea, Kim Jong, whatever.
Well, they're sending South Korea is sending dudes to Ukraine now.
Well, yeah, but North Korea is sending dudes to Russia and saying we're gonna fight with you and crush Ukraine. And these little fat North Korean face Fucking loser. He's such a fucking loser, dude. He's such a fucking like North Korea sucks, dude. They suck. They treat. I'm surprised they even have an army because he doesn't like to have his citizens be like healthy. You know what I mean? Like they're
Yeah.
all like wasting away, dropping dead in the streets. But he's got
Yeah, Putin's like, thank you.
right. Putin's like, well, we need some help over here, and maybe you have some girls or something.
You have some cannon fodder I can use.
Maybe you have something to send us. And North Korea's like, yeah, we can.
Oh, of course.
No. I can't do that. They can't do that.
We can do Australian, but not North Korean.
They're white. What the fuck? I can do an Irish accent, no problem. I'm not going to sit here, even though it's North Korea. It's going to be the same impression as if I was doing something about Xi Jinping.
Is Italian the line? Is
Yeah.
that the line we can't cross?
Italian's pretty. I would say Armenian's are too ethnic for me to.
It's a little too much
Yeah,
for me.
yeah. I can't get in with the. Not that I don't like the. I got no problem with the.
I just can't do it.
I
good.
can't do the. I can't do the.
Fucked up.
We're so bad, dude.
So there is always a bit of tailoring of messages, but on a very specific issue like that a lot of Democrat voters in particular are very focused on, it is an interesting way to market that particular point to very important states.
The dude on the right is my favorite.
The homeless
All right,
me.
Annalise Nielsen, live in
Like
DC.
when I think of Australian dude.
Dude, I'm
what
waiting for him to
comes
pull
up.
out a machete and go, that's a knife. You know?
Fucking crikey, mate.
Yeah, right. Couldn't bring this on an airplane, could you?
Do you remember?
Like,
Do you remember where you were when Steve Irwin died?
Where I was? No, I don't.
do. That was like one of my first celebrity deaths where I was like, oh. If you know Newburyport pretty well.
Did he die? Yeah, but did he die prior to Michael Jackson?
Yes, he died before Michael Jackson. He was my second one. I remember where I was for Steve Irwin, Michael Jackson, Tom Petty, and Prince.
Yeah, Prince. I remember where I was. I was at a. Oh, I gotta bleep that. But I was at work in the car business.
Mm-hmm.
It was Prince. I was at a gas station in upstate New York when Michael Jackson died.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I was like prime. I love Steve Irwin age when he died.
Mm.
I remember being in a restaurant with my parents and the news was on. I was like shook.
Yeah, that was
I
a
was
bad
fucked.
one.
Yeah, he got stabbed in the heart by a stingray. Like that made me hate. That made my entire generation like hate stingrays, bro. Like there are memes made by people my age where it's like, I'm motherfucking stingray hater. I'm number one. If
Can
I
we
see
talk about
stingray.
after this? Can we talk about this Peanut the Squirrel bullshit?
Oh my god, I totally wanted to talk to you about that.
Okay.
This
After
weekend.
this, but let's hear more of Kamala's flip flopping.
Thank you. Let's go to
Bloody
Paul Murray
thank.
now, who's checking the pulse in Texas. And Paul, our previous guests on our program said that they were a big fan of yours.
The guy in the middle and the fat guy in the end. There's a car that just drove by the fat guy and then drove by the guy. Imagine like you'd get cut to a wide shot. They're all just standing next to each other. They're all like 3 feet away. But they have to sell it, right? So let's bring back the joke. This is called a callback, okay? They bring back the joke about the pausing. So now because they got to sell it. So even though they're standing next to each other, they got to wait until they, you know what I mean? Well, we're 4 or 5 states away. So I'm going to have to, what'd you say, Jim? He's like this. Sitting right next to him. Fucking ridiculous thing. This shit, it's all bullshit.
Someone's
dude.
watching this live for some reason in Texas, and they're looking out their window, and they're like, "They're they're right there, dude."
Yeah, like what the fuck? Dude, this shit happens like that. Shit happens like that all the fucking time.
Everything's fake.
It's all fake.
It's all fake.
And I can say that they are
I
certainly
want
not
to
alone.
I want to have a
What are you
Foster's
finding
with the
in
guy
Texas,
on the
Paul?
right. Dude.
I tell you what, this microphone, it is seen around the world and certainly in Texas.
Got it, dude. So I bet me tell you what, this microphone worked like shite when it came to chopping through the bush to get here. Let me tell you what's up, you know. I had to
We tell it
crack
straight.
over the head 4 dingoes on my way to.
Dingo, steal your microphone.
And look, this is not going to be a place that's any worry for Donald Trump coming into the election. He'll easily carry this state. MAGA world and Trump world is pushing back really hard against some of those polls.
Hold
you were
on, there's
mentioning.
no way people passing him in Texas aren't like, what the fuck's that guy doing here?
These days, dude. They're too busy. Here's the problem. These days in these big cities, they're looking down at the ground because they're trying to step around the human feces. So it's more of like a jigsaw kind of
You gotta
puzzle.
look where you're going.
Right.
Well,
They don't have time to focus on accents. That's so
At the top
2011.
of the hour, they say
Look at
that
this
more
dude.
accurate
Look at his
pollsters in
picture.
2020
Look at
have
his
still got
LinkedIn.
him
You know
in
they have
front
those
in
scroll
all-
pause it. They have those things that you can it says it's like use this AI tool to create a professional picture of yourself for your LinkedIn or whatever it is.
That's what this guy did.
That's what he did. And he's on Sky News. He shows up on the fucking news for his job.
That's his college grade. That's just what they look like when they graduate college.
But he shows up at his job on camera, ready to go. We have no followers. I have a no name nothing podcast. I show up looking halfway fucking decent.
He showed up
This
in a Hawaiian
motherfucker-
shirt.
He showed up in a Hawaiian shirt that was size circus tent. He can't even hold the mic up to his face. He's got I can hear his stomach gurgling. He's holding the mic up to his gut, going, "This mic, oh wait. I mean, I ain't even got a place in my utility belt to put this thing."
I want to be friends with this guy so bad.
Oh yeah, I know he is kind of cool.
all of the swing
Love
states.
to have a beer
They
with this
also
dude.
believe that Iowa poll is somewhat of an outlier. But there are also people who will make a decision at the very last minute, and these elections in some of these states can come down to fewer than 10,000
Where the fuck
votes.
is he?
That said,
What is he at? Like
He's
the
at Fort
Disneyland
Worth.
of Texas? Yeah, dude, I've been to Fort Worth. It's a city. What the fuck is this? This is like an old West,
Well,
like.
San Diego has one of those.
I'm reporting live from the set of Django Unchained. What the fuck is this, dude?
Nah, I bet
Imagine it'd be so funny if he had if he stood in a spot where there was like a horse and buggy behind him,
that-
like coming
an
through.
old gallows.
Right. We need you to go overseas to
The most racist part of America.
yeah. Go to the spot where you can get shot in the street because someone doesn't like the color of boot spur you have on.
All right,
you.
Paul, we'll send you to a sundown town.
Oi, Murray! Get over.
a New York Times poll today showed that just 3% of people have made up their decision in the past few days. More than 80% of people have
That's
made
a
it
sick
in
Jeep.
the past few months. So for those, the rallies are all about the small slivers of people that are left. But here in Texas, well, a pretty even spread, at least here at Fort Worth and the stockyards. This is a place where millions of head of cattle have been traded over the years, but now it's one of the biggest tourist
Something other
attractions.
than
In
cattle
fact,
too,
9 million people come through here, and on a very sweaty Texas Sunday, we had a chat.
All right. I don't need to hear about Murray's sweat. Okay? We're supposed to be a thing about Kamala flip flopping and doing
That's
different
what
things.
I mean, dude. These
Oh, but
Australians.
He's
it's
out there.
like,
He's going, it's a very, very sweaty day.
you should be used to it, bro.
Right.
You're from down under.
His
It's
microphone is dripping. Like,
well, that's why it's spongy, dude. That's fucking.
I started the day with a tie on, a full suit and tie. I'm down, my shirt's untucked, and I'm sitting here a very sweaty day.
He's gonna wring out his mic when he's done.
Oh, dude, he puts the mic up to his forehead, uses the fucking phone to just dab like a sponge. Fat fuck. It's disgusting.
Trump or Harris?
Trump.
Okay.
Trump.
Why?
He's in
Man, he
Texas,
just ran
dude.
America like
He's
a
in
business.
fucking Dallas,
Man, I
Texas,
really-
Yeah,
and
well,
they're
if-
considering which one they're going to vote for.
If he was in Austin,
It'd be funny if he was able to get a single Kamala supporter out of this area.
If he was in Austin, he might be able to.
Play it.
as well, and it was good for my business and my brother's business and just our work. And when I did the oil field and the pipeline, he was very keen on keeping us going, keeping oil pumping, and keeping it here in America.
That girl
rather than
behind him,
overseas.
she's a dirty girl, dude. I could tell.
Dude, what?
If you're a chick and you're wearing a hat like that, you ain't afraid to get dirty. I'm just
Okay,
saying.
enough moving. Moving
What
the
is
fuck
it
on.
that makes him attractive to you?
I think that girls are too focused on the emotions of all of it,
Told
and
you.
he doesn't get caught up in any of that, so that's what drives me to vote for him.
Very difficult.
You like Harris?
Yeah, Harris.
Okay. all
It's
right.
just very difficult to say at this time. All the polls are going really head to head. So.
I want Harris to win.
Yeah, that poor bastard has no idea how much trouble he's in when he gets home. Do not talk.
Oh, so
I know. I can't do it. I can't put that on
light
there.
skinned Indian.
I think it's so funny, dude. The kid's like, I like hair.
Well, I mean, she is half Indian, dude. So I mean,
I just thought the father's reaction was funny when the kid goes, I like Harris. He goes, very difficult.
Can trust the polls, my
Right.
friend.
Very difficult to tell what we're doing right now.
We definitely need ID to vote, though.
Sanjit, shut the fuck up! I'm talking to reporter man.
It'd be funny if they got someone who was like so far right that they heard the Australian dude and they were like, "What are you doing here?
Yeah.
How'd you get over here?"
Yeah. That's crazy to say. I have to cut that out. Okay, so basically the point of you bringing this up was that Kamala flip-flops on her stories, right? She's doing
Yeah,
two
she's doing
ads.
two messages, one campaign. I don't rock with that.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I feel like
I do think she.
optics-wise, we talked about optics a few weeks ago. I feel like optics-wise, Trump is rubber, and it's like a rubber glue thing. My sister's a server in a restaurant right now. I don't want her to be taxed on tips.
Yeah.
Like
What's
it's not
that-
like a crazy thing.
Wait, what's that whole vote no on? Did you see that whole vote no on 5 thing?
No,
or-
okay, so question 5 says that it would give service workers, restaurant workers, waiters and waitresses, it's a 5-year plan to increase from their current pay rate, hourly pay rate, which I think is like $2.38. You can look it up, I'm sure, but like
Sounds right.
But they make their money on tips.
Yeah.
This is going to give them from now until 5 years. It starts at 64%, and it goes up gradually over 5 years to be in 5 years from now. If question 5 passes, no restaurant worker will make less than the minimum wage, $15 an hour, and it gives the owners of the restaurants the right to take all of the tips, pool them, and split them over the employees in the restaurant.
Yeah, that's not good.
I've heard both sides. So I've heard very, very. It's obviously a very liberal policy.
I can
fine.
I can see why people would want it.
I have friends in the service industry who are on both sides of this. Right now, in the service industry, if you're working at a nice restaurant, you can leave that restaurant on a Friday night at the end of your shift, making like $350 on like a Friday shift. If this takes place, you're going to make $65 on a Friday shift. That's the concern number one, because they're not realizing that the tips are going to go away. Part of the reason we have tipping in the U.S. for service workers is because they don't make minimum wage. So if the service workers end up making minimum wage, nobody's going to tip anymore. That's my philosophy on it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to hear how you only make $2 an hour and you need tips to survive, and I'm sitting there paying 20, 30, 40% extra to make sure you can get by. Well, if you're making a, quote, living wage now, not saying $15 an hour is, but if you're making minimum wage, if you're making the money that anybody else, why the fuck am I going to tip you extra for doing your job? They don't tip in Europe, and those guys make minimum wage in Europe. So, like,
I don't know.
why am I paying 100? So 100% is the cost of the food. 130% is the cost of the food plus a good tip. Why am I going to pay that? And on top of that, because the food, so here's the thing. So now you pay them $15 an hour, right? Every single employee has to make a minimum of $15 an hour. So, but how do food prices stay the same?
Well,
how do food prices stay the same?
That's the thing. Food will go up, but that means you won't be paying the tip anymore.
No,
so
that's not what they're
out?
thinking. So the people that are on at least the service workers that are on the side of question 5, vote yes on question 5, think that they're still going to get tipped the same way they're getting tipped plus everything else. Wrong. People are going to stop showing up to restaurants when it's $85 for, dude, when I go out, I don't drink. I really don't. I don't drink. And it's still $80 anytime I go out to dinner, me and another person, if I pay. No drinks. And it's like an entree usually. We might get like an appetizer. Maybe. $80.
I'm at a point now, like going out to eat is like really a treat. Like going out on a date with my girlfriend is truly a treat.
I don't disagree with you. But at the same time, you're looking at like $200 if you guys drink.
Yeah.
And if you're trying to have a nice romantic evening and you go out and you get like a couple of drinks, maybe you do an app. See, here's the thing with me, bro. I'll tell you right now. Whether it's a business function with like a business thing, or it's like an anniversary or whatever, it doesn't matter what it is. If I'm paying, I don't like to go to a place with anybody else of any importance in my life and have them feel restricted, because it takes away from everything that you're like. Let's say it's a business meeting. You and I are going to go out. We're going to talk about podcast. We're going to talk about how to grow the company. We're going to talk about all that kind of stuff. I'm going to promote you, whatever it is. I want you focused during the conversation on the stuff that matters. I don't want you sitting there. Now, this is this might be a very weird way to do things, but this is my legit philosophy. I don't want you sitting there worried about whether or not you can have a drink, worried about whether or not we can get an appetizer. No inhibition. We're here to talk about other shit that's important. Get whatever you want. That's how I feel. When I'm on a date, same way. Get whatever the fuck you want. I won't take someone out on a date if I can't afford to take them out on a date.
Yeah.
So, like, the idea, you know what I'm saying? Like, all this shit, it's a little.
But all right, how do you
like, I agree it's a treat, but I'm not going to go if it really is a treat. And I'm taking someone out. Let's say you and me.
Be frugal.
You and me, we've been together for a year. We're very happy. Okay. And it's our 1 year anniversary. I'm going to take us out to dinner, you and me. And I go, babe, where do you want to go? And you say, I want to go to Davio's, right? You want to go to Davio's. Oh, how do you feel at the 1 year anniversary mark when I look at you and you've had to be sleeping with me for a year and you're putting up with my bullshit? Now I say I'm going to take you out and make it all worth it. You go Davio's and I go,
okay.
Fuck. Well, we go to Davio's tonight, and then I could stand to lose a few pounds, so we just won't eat for the next month. like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, we're supposed to go out and have a good time and not be careless, but like, it's not.
No worries.
It's not careless to go have 2 drinks, an appetizer, an entree, and a small dessert. That's like a fucking nice night out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, why is that crazy for 2 people to go out and do that? Why does that have to be $300? Because it is.
It isn't. Yeah, it's fucking.
And at Davio's, it's even more because you're looking at a $40 steak. By the way, Davio's is a la carte, much like Ruth's Chris and Capitol Grill. And fuck Capitol Grill, it'd be like $1,000 for 2 people.
Well, I also feel like if
do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Though?
But
see, here's the difference, Max. When you were 18, like that amount of time ago, you're 25, so 6-7 years ago, you could go to Davio's and drink and have like a nice meal for like $120 for 2 people. Now it's like $120 a person.
Yeah.
That's like not okay. And so the thing is like you can say, like, hear me out. This is my whole point. We talked about a little bit about minimum wage before, but okay. So if you're an employer, right? That's why the market matters. That's why everything, like, what's market pricing and everything. That better be the best goddamn meal of my life to walk in there and drop $300
Yeah.
on without getting an appetizer, without drinking or whatever it is. And the service, I better get like a fucking foot massage or something out of it. You know what I'm saying? In order to get a 20% tip on top of that.
Yeah.
Like that you know what I'm saying? So what happens? Like the bullshit. Like, yes, you might believe that people deserve X amount of money and you might really care about that. But if you can't afford it, bro, the answer is very simple. You're not going. And you don't care if other people go or not because your wallet is what matters. So everybody feels that way. And they go, well, somebody else will go in there and, we'll just go somewhere else tonight because it's too expensive there. And look, they got people in there. Like, they'll be fine. But they can't do it every day. And if everyone starts treating, especially in America's big on eating out of the house. You know what I mean? So, like, if everyone starts really feeling like going out to dinner is
too much
and it really is just a special treat for once a year, how many fucking businesses and restaurants are going to close?
Well,
now
that's what happened during COVID.
But now, it's not what happened during COVID. Well, COVID, the government locked us down. It has nothing to do with fucking how expensive
like all the
restaurants
businesses
get.
Closing.
I'm talking about the cost of going out to dinner versus paying people the current way that they're being paid. So, like, you might get some douchebag in there who doesn't tip you 20%. But at the end of the day, if you get a 12 top and you're making $15 an hour and they're in and out in 2 hours, you made $30 and they don't tip you because you're making minimum wage and it's not a requirement or whatever. When you could have made $500 tip on 12 people or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, why? I don't understand the logic there. The problem is these people think they're still going to get tipped and they're not. That's the issue. Can we talk about Peanut the Squirrel?
Yeah.
Give me some Peanut action.
Can't believe this, dude. You know the guy who owned him has an OnlyFans?
I was going to say, I saw some videos of this guy with the squirrel, and I actually texted it to Alexis, and I said, yeah, I don't think that his squirrel was what made him famous.
Peanut the Squirrel euthanized.
But that is kind of bullshit. How do you feel about the peanut the squirrel thing?
I think it's bullshit. They found the lady who reported him, and she deleted all of her social media. Like the country's bullying this woman, which is like you opened up a can of worms.
Yeah,
lady.
why the fuck would you do that?
It's like it's like a, it's,
I've
a
never
Karen.
understood Karens though. I've never understood Karens.
We as a society need Karens though.
I guess they have their place.
I'm a firm believer. If you don't put your fucking grocery cart back in the corral, you are a bad person.
Well, at least it has to go at least in the corral.
Yeah,
it has to go into a corral.
I have a firm because it's a true test because it's one of those things that it's like I have to do if
Calm down and get a sentence out of your mouth, please.
If I do, it's one of those things where you have to do the right thing with nobody watching.
Yes, agreed. Yes. If you, oh my God, that is so good. Yes, that is good.
It's the grocery cart test. If you don't put it back, you're a bad person. And not every time. Listen,
okay.
I get it.
I mean, listen. Sometimes
9
people are in
times
a
out of 10,
rush.
if you don't put it back 9 times out of 10, you're a bad person.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, wow, you just don't give a shit about anybody but yourself.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
Yeah,
they're the same people.
But that's
by
what
the way,
Karens are for.
They're the same people, by the way, that get upset when there's not like, when there's a cart that got left behind by somebody else, right? And it's in a parking spot. These are the same people that are like, oh, motherfucker. I mean, I can't believe I have to get out and move this thing or whatever, blah, blah, blah. But then when they leave the grocery store, they just leave the fucking cart.
Yeah.
Wherever.
Yes.
Wherever.
It's fucked up, dude.
But that's it goes back to, and I'm not trying to be a dick. We were texting last night, you and me, and you were saying how that's why my generation's like, fuck it. What I've been trying to preach to you is like, be the change, be the difference that you want to see. Act like it's not, like all hope is not lost. And you need to buckle down and work hard and vote for people that you want in, like RFK, you were saying, and all this other shit, right? But like, that's the thing. That is the same thing. I don't view you as a bad person. I really don't. What I'm thinking in my head is when you pull into the grocery store and there's a cart in the way because some douchebag left it there, the answer to that is to move it and put it back in the corral. And you be the good person and do the right thing. When you say, well, fuck it, because they put it there, so I can just leave it wherever the fuck, that's the mentality of there's no hope. There's no point because some other douchebag just going to leave it out or whatever, blah, blah. Listen to me, on a philosophical small level, you cannot judge other people for having a dirty house if you live in filth.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So what I mean by that is you can't say, oh, there's no hope, there's no nothing. Be the hope. Be the change. Vote. Do you think vote local? I'm talking about like when they say it sounds like a bullshit thing that doesn't matter to you in where, whatever town you live in, and it says trash day is currently on Thursdays. Question 6 will move trash day to Fridays. And you go, well, what the fuck difference does it make there? Well, we don't care. But you don't know about the municipalities and all the bullshit that go on behind that scenes and all that other shit and how it's going to affect other people because you don't care. Not you, but a person doesn't care. And so you're like, fuck it. I'm either not going to go vote or I'm just like, because there's no point, because it's like, that's like a dumb question. What if there was a vote that was like, you're going to fine people? Grocery stores have the right to fine people for not putting the cart back in the thing. You know what I'm saying? People would probably say that's ridiculous. I'm not going to vote yes on that. But if they don't go vote at all and it becomes a yes thing, and then you didn't vote, but you thought it was bullshit, and you go, "That's fuck, I'm just not going to vote on that thing." But then it gets passed, and so now you go to the grocery store, and then there's a fucking gate that closes or some shit, and goes, "Yeah, you left your card out, so it's $50."
Yeah, I mean,
do you know what I'm saying?
I know what you're
like,
saying.
You can't sit by the sidelines and then also complain when things don't go your way.
It's hard to equate that to like politics, though, because I feel like once you get into like the big political game, no matter who you are, it corrupts you.
Okay. So you're saying people shouldn't vote because it's corruption?
No, I'm not saying people shouldn't vote. I'm
what
just
are
saying,
you saying
it's hard to find someone that you can truly trust and believe in, and like believe the good in them. Once they get in there, they get hit with the lobbies and it's game over.
Okay. You got to try.
Yeah. No, you got to have faith. I firmly believe.
You got to try, because you might be right. You might be right. And you might think that like it's all lost. It's all lost cause. It's all bullshit. And you might be right. Hope you're not, but you might be right. But if you don't try, then you're allowing for bullshit to happen.
Oh yeah, I mean,
You know what I mean?
You got to keep your foot in the door.
Let's
but
get back to Karen's really quick. So Peanut the squirrel used to, I guess, like hang on this guy's ball
he was
sack or
like- he
something in
was-
his OnlyFans. What
So
happened?
like this dude had this squirrel and a
Yeah.
raccoon,
yeah,
and I think he also ran some sort of like very small like animal sanctuary at his crib.
Right.
And I guess he had this squirrel for like 7 years.
That's a long time.
That
dude.
is a long time to have a pet, especially a fucking squirrel.
Well, no, but even still, like regardless,
almost a decade.
it's like imagine if it was a dog.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, it's like
By the way, why do you give a fuck? This guy wants to hang out with squirrels and do OnlyFans. Why do you give a fuck?
So I guess he had this squirrel for a while. The squirrel just was not fit to live in the wild. He tried to return him to the wild, I think a couple times, but every time the squirrel came back with injuries. So, and it's like there are like that's a reason why we have sanctuaries, because there are animals that just aren't fit to go live in the wild. And so I guess this Karen lady, who I believe lived in Texas, he lives in New York State.
He lives in New York. She lives in Texas, and
she lives in
people
another
got nothing better to do, bro. This is pathetic. Go ahead.
I think she was jealous or some shit about his like social media posts. So she reported the squirrel to his New York government, and they came in for like 5 hours with a search warrant, like ripped apart his house. I guess they like broke open his toilet, like looking for the squirrel or some shit. Found the squirrel, found the raccoon, and euthanized them.
That's so sad, dude.
Yeah, it is fun.
Why would you do that? Why would you do that? So, like, from the perspective of the person who called, what did she think was gonna happen? Did she think that she was gonna like just get them taken away from him? Like,
I don't know. She's probably like, you won't be posting about this anymore.
so I was in Maine
Uh-huh.
recently, like up during the summer, went up and we were at the beach. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Walking out to the beach to set up chairs and shit like that, and this guy rides by on a bicycle. Right now, there's a sign out front of the beach that says "No bikes on the beach."
Yeah.
This old woman, and when I say old, I mean she was 65 plus. I've never seen someone this age move quite this quickly. Came running up the fucking boardwalk to go to the beach after this guy with this like, hey, she's screaming, right? And the guy's like, what? She goes, you can't have a bike on the beach. He goes, and yet I do.
Yeah.
He goes, and yet I do. And he turned around and drove off. And she's like, I'm calling the authority. And I thought to myself, get a book.
No, it's like
Get a book. Get some fucking crochet needles.
It's like
you know what I mean? Get a I don't know. Get a hobby.
I agree, but it's also
Get a Kindle.
They are an integral part of our society, because it's like
They enforce the rules.
yeah.
I get it, but like, fuck off.
Yeah, no, 100%.
You know?
I agree.
Like what? Like there are people dying of fentanyl overdoses. You're worried about this guy on the fucking with a bike on the beach. He's got like special like bicycle tires for sand. They're fat. Like he's clearly like just trying to work out. You know what I mean?
No bikes on the beach.
Right. There's no bikes on the beach. He goes, I got one. Right here.
What about it?
Right. What are you gonna do? He wasn't aggressive. He was very calm.
I live for that though.
She was so angry, bro. You'd think that he rolled over her cat in the parking lot.
But you know that guy, that was like the highlight of his week. That's
I
the
think
thing.
it's hilarious.
But
Yeah, yeah.
it's like that's a nice thing. It's like I live for moments like that.
Mm.
And I got a story I got to tell you really quick.
Tell me what's up.
So last week I woke up.
Can we just agree that like nobody cares about the squirrel thing?
Well,
Like the
it's-
the squirrel thing is
bro,
fucked up. The Karen thing is
Did you
fucked
see
up.
the Trump tweet about it?
No.
Bro, it's so
They're eating the
Hold
squirrels.
on, let me read it to you. Oh, it was fake. God damn it. Anyways, I go to fucking Burger King this week, right? I wake up, I'm like, oh, what do I get for lunch? I go to Burger King. I was like, I'd love a Whopper. I go through the drive-thru.
Love Whopper.
I love a Whopper. I go through the drive-thru.
Mhm.
It's the woman who's not the best with English, but I'm like, no big deal.
Mm.
I was like, can I get a Whopper with no cheese, no pickles, no tomatoes? I get my food. I drive away. I open it as I'm driving. Pickles on it. Most people are like, just take the fucking pickles off. Pickles have a lingering taste. They have juices, and they will fucking destroy the burger for me. So I go back. I'm like, hey, no big deal. There's pickles on the burger. Can I get a new one? She's like, yeah, no problem. The next one, cheese and tomatoes. on the burger.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fucking furious, Nick. I'm livid.
Why? Wait, tell me the story. I'm sorry. Okay, so you wanted a Whopper.
I go to Whopper. No cheese, no pickles, no tomatoes. First Whopper.
That's how you order it?
Yeah.
You fucking loser. Oh my god. Go ahead.
First one has pickles on it. I'm like, no big deal. I go back. I want a new one.
Why do you want a new one?
Because you can't take the pickles off.
Yeah, you can.
But there's the taste of pickles will still be on the burger.
Get
and
over it.
I don't like motherfucker. No.
Don't get a Whopper then. A
No.
Whopper has pickles.
Yeah, not the ones I order.
Why
Most
don't you
of
do
the
this?
time.
Why don't you just go get all the stuff and make the burger yourself?
Because I can't flame
I
grill a
hate
burger.
people who have a fucking like thing with fast food like that. Like, you're so
Motherfucker,
annoying.
their motto is "Have it your way."
Yeah, as long as it's their way. What the fuck?
No. So they fuck up the second one, and I flip my shit.
Yeah.
I don't even go through the drive-thru. I walk into the fucking establishment.
Yeah.
I walk in with a burger in each hand. I look at the lady. I go, "Are you serious right now?"
Yeah.
She's like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry. So sorry about that."
Do you think she was sorry, Max?
She looked it.
Oh, okay.
So so she's like, "How do you want it?" I go, "Whopper, no cheese, no pickles, no tomatoes." She gives me a new thing of fries too, which I was like, "Oh, okay, all right."
Yeah, making up for it, trying.
She's appeased me.
Yeah.
I get my shit. I walk out to my car, start driving away. I'm like, I can't wait to eat this fucking hamburger.
Why would you not? So this is on you. Go ahead.
I start driving away. I'm all like 3/4 of the way home. I open
Idiot.
it, tomatoes on it.
Yeah, dumbass. Dumbass.
I was like,
See,
ready
this
to
is
turn
why.
around.
This is why you don't get paid a living wage to work at fucking Burger King. This is my entire point. Because it's not a living wage type of job.
Dude.
The people that work there don't give a shit.
After
this is my point. Hold the fuck on, because this literally is my entire point. This is your fault, bro. This is entirely is entirely your fault. And the reason you're laughing is because you know it's your fault.
That's bullshit.
I'm gonna explain
I
right now.
paid for a service. I expect to get what I paid for.
Yes.
And it's have it your way.
Right, exactly. And you believed them. You're an idiot. Let me explain. So if you have a burger, you get a burger, you say, I want no cheese, no pickles, no tomatoes. The first one comes out, it's fully made up. They didn't even take anything off of it, right? In fact, they gave you extra cheese, extra pickles. There's no burger. It's cheese, pickles, and tomatoes between two pieces of bread.
Uh-huh.
That's what you got the first time, right?
Mm-hmm.
You go, oh, I'm so sorry. Maybe I wasn't clear enough before. It's okay. People have hearing impairments. I don't judge. I wanted no cheese, no pickles, no tomatoes. They go, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Let me make you another one. Open it up. There's tomatoes on the fucking thing.
Mm-hmm.
There's no pickles, though. We're getting somewhere. This is good. Here's where you fucked up. You're supposed to go back and go, really? And she goes, oh my God, I'm so sorry. How did you want it? No cheese, no tomatoes, no pickles. No cheese. And you think they're going to do their job right. But they've already fucked it up twice.
I should have stayed. You're right.
You should have stayed. You
Well,
should have
if I
waited.
did, I would've
and you
lost
should have
it.
opened up. Nah, I see you're an
I would
idiot.
have had
then.
an episode.
That's
in
immature.
Burger King.
That's immature. I would have said, I would say, what's behind door number 3? We want to try this together? You know what I mean? I would have opened it up. I would have said, still no pickles.
Well, the thing that blew me away was like after the second fuck up, they didn't ask to see either burger. So like in their
they
head,
don't care.
They have no confidence.
First of all,
in
you realize that a
themselves.
Whopper costs Burger King about 3/4 of 1 cent.
Well, dude, after
They charge $6.95
after the
or whatever
second
the fuck.
fuck up, my first thought was, dude, Trump's right. These people are a problem.
Okay, but so that's dramatic. But it's still, who's the real problem here? The real problem is you.
The consumer.
Because you're right, it's have it your way. They clearly cannot take instruction. They can't follow instruction, and it's not all of them, but this particular instance, they couldn't follow instruction. And you trusted them after they fucked it up, not once, but twice they fucked it up. And on the third time you went, I have faith in the American people. You're the fucking problem, bro. You are the problem because now you're bitching about it, right? Listen, I love you. I'm just saying. But I'm just being honest with you. You need a dose of reality every now and then, Maximus. Like, fucking now they're complaining, or you're complaining because they fucked it up knowing that they fucked it up 2 other times. You're upset that they fucked it up on the third time.
I didn't think it was possible for that many fuck ups.
I didn't think it would be possible for them to fuck it up the second time, and yet they did. So I would have stayed. I would have said, would you like me to come back and show you how to make the burger? You know
Well,
what I
that's
mean?
the thing. If I opened that third burger in the store,
You should have said,
the cops would have showed up.
I would have said, you fucking with me, right?
No, literally, I walked in, a burger in each hand. I go, are you guys serious right now?
But you said they didn't ask to see them.
They didn't ask the same. I just walked in. I was so fucking mad. I walked in with both burgers. Are you serious right now?
Did you drive through the drive-through twice on the first two?
Yeah. So the first.
Wow.
The first two.
So you got off your ass. You went literally. You are. I'm
I
renaming
turned
you,
around.
bro. We're gonna make a new show, and it's just about you, and it's called 99% Max, because you do everything 99% of the way, and it's that last 1% where you go, fuck it, I'll just go home, grab a chair and a rope. Maybe I'll move to Switzerland and use a pod.
I was like the maddest.
Like, what the
I've
fuck?
been. It was the maddest.
You've been mad, but you were mad over your own fucking problem. You should have stayed there until they got it right. And you say, listen, I'm sorry you had to feed my entire family for 3 weeks by giving me all these fucking
no,
Whoppers.
that was the other thing. It was like after the third burger, I wish I turned around, but I was like, I can't waste this much food. Like I felt guilty about
You
it.
threw the other two away?
I tossed the other two away.
You didn't like go home and give them to your grandparents or anything?
They wouldn't eat that shit.
Wow.
They wouldn't. No, nobody in my family would have eaten
because
that.
of a little bit of pickle juice, you threw away food for potentially homeless.
All right, I'm the first to hook up the homeless.
Oh, I'm sure you're a big homeless hookie.
I love the
hooker-upper.
homeless.
Yep.
I love hooking them. When I was in Austin, hooked them up with all of our extra booze
Yeah,
and cigars.
yeah,
If I had Whoppers, I would have given them to them.
I'm sure.
But
Now you couldn't find a homeless person. You said, "I'll just put this into a landfill."
I wouldn't have been. I wouldn't have been nice. I was in such a cranky mood. I would have just whipped the fucking burgers out.
Do you
of dude.
hear how fucking American privileged you sound right
Yeah,
now?
I
I was in a cranky mood and they put tomatoes on my burger.
listen.
Dude, you sound like a fucking... Let me tell you something. If you were in fucking Ethiopia right now and you found a Whopper that was only pickles between
Oh my
bread...
god, one
if
of
you were in
these
the-
arguments. What
If
am
you're
I
in the
gonna
middle
mail?
of the fucking Sahara Desert...
You're right. I should have mailed them to Africa.
That's what I would have done. I would have postmarked Timbuktu. I would have put a fucking...
And Burger King, it probably would have been moldy or anything when it got.
No, it looked exactly the same as fake food. You probably couldn't ship it overseas because overseas they don't allow half the ingredients that are in the fucking thing. You know what I mean?
This
McDonald's French
this
fries.
burger would kill the environment in
What
Africa.
what do we think is in McDonald's French fries? Oh, potatoes, salt, oil. Yes, but you're forgetting, of course, the sodium chloride, the aspartame, the fucking shit that makes them look like French fries in 30 years.
I think if you sent a Whopper to
Yeah.
a tribe in Africa, it'd kill them.
I don't think it would kill them. I think that they would.
I think it would destroy their internal organs.
Yeah, maybe. Well, it didn't destroy ours. It's just doing.
We're used to it. I've
very
been eating
slow.
Whoppers my whole life. I'm saying you found like a 35-year-old dude who's only been eating like
Careful.
gazelle. Yeah, take it easy.
Gazelle is
only
crazy.
eating gazelle.
Gazelle is
think
fucking
I
insane.
think a Whopper would kill him.
Gazelle is insane, dude. They eat zebra too.
Probably a lot
They
harder.
don't only eat gazelle.
That's a wild life. I actually on all over my TikTok feed, like every couple days, I get like some dude is out there with these tribes people with an iPhone filming them eat, and it's literally just them like eating like raw intestines and shit. I'm like, that's hardcore. Like they're like like ripping it apart with their teeth in this fucking like clay fucking pot they made. It's wild, dude. Wild. No,
It's
it's just
called being a human.
I know. That's what I'm saying. It's just cool to see like different perspective because I'm like watching like this is so cool. My girlfriend's like, ew. I'm like,
Ew, what?
They gotta
Ew,
eat.
they're poor. What is the ew? What are you talking about?
Like,
dude,
no,
that's how all of humanity
no,
was for like the first
no.
18,000,
If I
20,000 years of
if
us
I
existing.
showed you the soup that they were eating, it does look like fucking like nasty. Like you can see like
Yes, because the fake Whopper is such a better choice.
No, but like you can see like the you know how like in your intestines like you have like
shit?
Not shit, but
Well, that's what's in your intestines.
you can see like the little tentacles in your in the
Oh,
intestines.
yeah.
You can just see like ripping on it like it's jerky. And you can see like it's green because whatever they're eating just finished eating a bush or something.
Jesus Christ.
It's like it is pretty hardcore, dude.
Hey, that's intense. That's intense.
That's what I'm
Hi,
saying.
I'll take my intestines without the bush. Can we eliminate the bush?
They're literally just eating like organ soup.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, what do you think
But it's-
sausage casing is
but
made
it's
out
also
of?
the-
Wait,
no.
whoa. What do you
No,
think
I know-
sausage casing is
I
made
love
out of?
sausages. I'm just saying,
I
but it's
bet.
but the soup, but
go.
but Nick, the soup is like the same color as the dirt that they're standing on. Like it's that
Well,
same.
I mean, you know, whatever. What are you gonna?
And you're just watching this dude with like 4 teeth.
Stop. Jesus Christ.
I'm not kidding. It's a dude with like 4 teeth.
It's a white guy, though.
No.
Stop. Just go. I'm trying to make it less bad.
I'm just saying how it is.
I know, you're horrible. Anyway, listen.
Peanut the Squirrel rip.
If you have, Peanut the Squirrel rip. I'm
Rest in
sure his
peace.
OnlyFans is doing just fine.
You know
Probably,
about Harambe, right, Nick?
How dare you question?
Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry.
Harambe's got a new friend.
It all started, dude. That's it. All the timeline switched when Harambe died.
You know, I bet animal rights activists were proud that Harambe took it because it drove such a
That's another
movement.
celebrity death. I remember where I was.
Dude, Harambe was crazy. Like the memes like that, like really launched meme culture was the Harambe
Well,
thing.
there's like a running gag where it's like everything that's happened since then has happened because of Harambe dying. Like Trump became president because Harambe died.
Mm.
And think that kid's somewhere out there in America.
Knowing that it's his fault.
Knowing that it's his fault.
Because he crawled over the fucking cage
Yeah,
thing like
because
an
he
idiot.
jumped the fence and got Harambe gunned down.
Right.
All 300 people can't handle this heat, dude.
Right. Dude, well, no, but you know what's going to happen. We make fucking one Harambe comparison joke of any kind, and then of any kind, even the most innocent kind of comparison. And then we won't, that'll be what happened. I'll be on fucking CBS tomorrow.
Didn't know what he was saying.
From here, I will link in to the Zoom call for CBS. And I'll be going, no, I mean, I totally stand by my comments. And Max has been fired. And happy election, go vote. And depending on where we're at in the election during the day, I will say go Kamala or go Trump, whoever the fuck
I'm
is.
writing in Harambe.
You know what I mean? You know? Write in fucking Peanut the Squirrel, dude.
Did you hear about the dude on the subway? Remember the dude who choked out the dude on the subway?
He didn't go to jail, right?
I think
The trial's going on right now. Either it's going on or it went on.
I think he has been in jail.
Well, no.
I don't think he's been sentenced. No.
Well, he hasn't. The trial is going on right now. He's not even convicted yet. That's what I'm trying to explain.
I'm pretty sure.
The trial just started a couple weeks ago.
I thought he's been in jail during that though.
No. Because it happened a year ago.
They
so.
fucking found the homeless dude still had a pulse after he got choked out. Like after the cops arrived, the dude still had a pulse.
Yeah. So then he's innocent. And the homeless guy was like cracked out of his mind. And
well,
trying to hurt people.
NYPD is trying to protect their ass per usual.
Yeah, of course.
It's wild.
Right. No, it's literally horrible.
That dude's gonna be a fucking gazillionaire after this.
Well, listen, make sure you get out there and vote. Very, very important. And we just wanted to have a little conversation on this beautiful Monday morning while we're still America and before shit hits the fan. Let me tell you, I'm not a politician, and this is not a political channel. And if you're watching this, if you're one of the 12 people that watch, don't expect there to be a ton of politics, except if there is another civil war of any kind, because one thing goes one way or the other. Well, it's not going to happen here, but we will be reporting on all of it.
That's why I think that's what Gen Z's destined for.
Yeah.
You have a generation.
The Nick Williams show will become Civil War II show. That's what it'll be.
Live correspondent.
Live. Well, yeah, we'll send Josh down there. Hi, I'm live from
Gettysburg too.
Yeah, North Carolina, on the border of North Carolina and Virginia, where hold on, I'm sorry. Yeah, we're just hearing
Asheville is gone.
Right. It's all gone.
Well, dude, genuinely, Gen Z destined for something like that. Genuinely, you have a generation of kids who have just been fucked. Only been playing Call of Duty. We're fucking destined for this shit, dude.
Okay, I don't want to get into this because we'll have no subscribers, no nothing. We'll get banned and we'll be on the news. Like I can't, you know what I mean? This is for posterity's sake. This is where I was the day before the second Civil War started.
Civil War II, Electric Boogaloo.
Right. I was here in my studio
talking about Peanut.
Talking about Peanut and Peanut's owner. And Kamala and Trump and everybody else, and it's all a bunch of crap. Get out there and vote. It's super important, and that's good for today. That's good.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye. See you next week.